today, as I'm recording this today, I have it on good authority that the EDL and the BNP have put aside their differences, which brings a tear to my eye, and are going on a march to sort of visit various war memorials, because, as we all know, it is not enough these days to be British, you must be back British. So yes, there's been a lot of hoo-ha about Islam in the media recently due to the obvious tragic events of the murder of Lee Rigby, and of course the EDL and the BNP and various other people like this don't see this as, you know, a tragedy. They see this as a great opportunity to promote their stupid beliefs. When I saw the press conference of Lee Rigby's family talking, you know, about the circumstances of his death and so on, I didn't hear any anti-Islamic bigotry or anything like that, or talk of sending Muslims home, even though these Muslims are already home, they're British Muslims. All I heard really was a lot of heartbreaking, gut-wrenching and very tragic emotions, which are completely understandable and exactly what you'd expect. I didn't hear any bigotry out of them or anything. So the EDL and the BNP and all these other idiots are not championing their cause. They're very much using this as an opportunity to spread their stupid beliefs. What I did think was somewhat amusing was that, of course, the EDL had a protest outside a mosque which had a concept of 6 people involved in it, and of course they were all acting all angry and all raging like you'd expect Islamic extremists to be, and of course these Muslims, as we all know, just came out with some tea and biscuits, which is the really English thing to do. So he's so embarrassing the English Defence League there by being more English than they are, you know, bringing out the tea and biscuits. If they brought out a crate of Stella Artois, that would have been just that bit funnier, but obviously Muslims don't usually drink, so that obviously wasn't going to happen. So yeah, there's very stupid opinions about this bouncing around the internet, and you know, one of the most prominent is of course Pat Ondell's, because whenever something happens involving Islam in the media, Pat Ondell is drawn to it like a fly to a cowpat. So yeah, Pat's video, I watched it. I really don't want to watch it again. So I didn't want to watch it in the first place, to be honest with you. But basically, what he's saying is that all moderate Muslims must speak out and declare openly that they're not in favour of jihad, which a lot of them do quite often. I don't know, you know, maybe if you listen to that back, you might know that. There's even a small child outside this mosque holding a sign saying all are welcome who oppose extremism and oppose violence. So, you know, I don't. But then, of course, in the same video, Pat says, "Oh well," he goes, "You know, your scripture has not been misinterpreted by extremists. They're interpreting it correctly." As such, declaring, which I think is a bit contradictory. It's declaring these people to be not, you know, Muslims. You know, if they're going to be Muslim and go against jihad, then you have to accept that maybe there is this need for interpretation. And of course, I actually do agree with Pat a little bit there. I don't think that there is, you know, this is a misinterpretation. I think extremists do interpret it correctly, but when you're talking about social politics, it's slightly different. We have to, you know, that's a different area other than studying actual theology. Other thing I was going to say, yeah, that was it. Yeah, a point Pat brings out as well in his video is that he says something about not Muslims saying that Islamic extremists aren't true Muslims. I haven't heard anyone say that. I heard some guy say that Islam has a very broad range of people, you know, ranging from extremists to moderates. And he was a Muslim gentleman. I don't remember him saying that these extremists weren't true Muslims. And there's a reason you don't hear the no true Scotsman fallacy very often from Muslims. You hear it all the time from Christians. Whenever a Christian does something wrong, say it's the Westboro Baptist Church or something, they always say, oh, they're not true Christians. They're not true Christians. No. We hear that often. We don't hear it often from Muslims, and as I understand it, the reason is because when a Muslim says another Muslim isn't a true Muslim, they are basically accusing them of apostasy, which in Islam, certainly as it's currently practiced, is a very, very serious accusation to make, and can have very dire social consequences for you. Obviously, somewhere like Saudi Arabia, you wouldn't dare do this, because if you're found to be wrong, if you accuse someone of apostasy and you're found and it turns out you're wrong, you're the one who ends up being called an apostate. Obviously, somewhere like Saudi Arabia, this means your death. It's not over here. It simply means you become something of a social pariah. But even so, that in itself is still enough a deterrent that you don't often hear people saying this. You don't often hear Muslims doing this in the way you do Christians. But anyway, other thing I wanted to point out, Coughlangate. Yeah, Coughlin has recently declared himself fed up with YouTube atheism. I kind of don't blame him, really. I mean, I think one of the reasons I've always quite liked his channel is because it's not just about there being no God. Because as interesting as videos like that can be, when someone just makes videos on that subject relentlessly, it can get a little bit tiresome. Plus, whenever they do eventually make a video about something else and express an opinion on something else, it's usually pretty ill informed. So it's good to know there's someone out there who actually is actually looking at other things, like other areas of politics and so on. But I had a bit of a listen to the chat he was having on Live Life's live stream or whatever it is. I couldn't listen to it all, unfortunately, because it was very late at night and I really needed some sleep last night. But what I heard was brilliant. I liked the guests were Bored to Bits, DPR Jones, who else was there? Negation of P, people like that. I thought it was really interesting to hear all these atheists actually talking to each other. It seemed so refreshing, so much new conversation rather than the same old going on. There was lots of new discussion going on. I thought this is really good. It's almost like they've all snuck away from whatever little cliques they're supposed to belong to and come together and had an actual bit of a chat and brought some interesting topics up that aren't normally brought up. So I thought that was really interesting. I would have liked to listen to it all, but there's so much interesting stuff brought up. Unfortunately, I don't think anyone's videoed it. So, but yeah, that was it. Should any members, by the way, of the EDL or the BNP, not take kindly to things I've said about them in this video, and want to do the usual thing of threatening me with violence or anything like that, just be aware, I've got a Muslimic ray gun. Goodbye.